So in some churches, they hold to some very interesting doctrines. And in TB Joshua's church, it's a very classic situation. There is a video that was published by the SCON team and the people at SCON, this video right here, of a testimony of a man that claims to have died. But I want you to see if the doctrine of a church is true. This is where you'll see it. When the person has died, what do they continue preaching? And not only when the person has died, but also how are you expected to continue in faith containing that particular doctrine? In this video, I believe you see all of that in play. It's the Rick Reality Show with the daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time over here to be sure, check out the other videos that are down in the pinned comments, and I'm going to check you out over there. This is what it says. It's a very small clip that I'm going to play you, but I want us to really sit down and think biblically.
Car from my back, they hit me. I never knew I have accident, but I passed on. As I passed on, I find myself in a vast place where crowd of people, man cannot number, human being eyes cannot number, so many people. And behind me, crowds are coming from my back. When I asked, they said these are people coming from the earth. But in front of me, a far big city, very shining city. I'm not even moving. The force just keep taking me closer to the city.
That part of the force taking him. It's a very interesting point. I'll come back to it.
White banner. If you don't have the white banner, you cannot enter into the city. It's just a stain. Just few people that is having that white banner. Because I was having the white banner, I was happy that I want to enter into this city. So close to the entrance, Prophet TB Joshua came out from the city. As he came out, that is, it's like the commander of the city. He just came direct to me. He said, "You go back." Because of the power there, I cannot even explain. I just turned myself back. As I back him, that is how I find myself in the hospital bed.
And so that's the short video. Now, might not look important. It might not look like it's peddling anything, but there's something that the video is peddling. It's peddling your belief in the person. It's peddling what you believe about the person, the founder of the church. And first, where do you see that? Right? So we track back. He says that when he died, he felt this force just pushing him towards the city. When we read the Lazarus and the rich man story, the Bible says he was taken by two angels. Okay? He was taken up by two angels and then brought up to the kingdom. Clear there. All right? Now, here, it's some force that's kind of pushing him towards things. Okay, no problem. Maybe it's just a difference in his experience and whatnot. But then there's another thing here. Someone might say, but Ricky, if you look at the New Testament, the story of the Lazarus and the rich man, the rich man didn't see God or didn't see Jesus. He got there and he saw Father Abraham. Yeah, but you would be right, because that was before Jesus had died. Right? And so there's no way he's getting there and he's seeing Jesus, because that was before the Messiah's thingy. Right? So when Jesus has already died, the figure we would expect to have that reception of is not a patriarch. It's the one who's receiving us. Because remember, we are members of the body. So in his case, he sees TB Joshua and he perceives TB Joshua to be almost a commander, he says. Right? In part of his testimony, this is why I'm saying this is meant to peddle the belief in the person. And so as he gets closer and closer, he says that he sees TB Joshua at the entrance. And it's almost as though he is a commander. It's like TB Joshua is like a commander. At that point, you know something is wrong. Something's wrong with what is being peddled here. Because Why would you be in eternity and be perceiving a human being, as a commander in heaven? Did you go to heaven or you went to scorn? You went to scorn. Because you cannot be in heaven and you are seeing TB Joshua as a commander in heaven. Something's wrong. And some of these things, that's when you wake up. If you wake up from that dream, you wake up and you realize, man, this is not of God. Yes, you went to TB Joshua's church or you believed in TB Joshua's work or whatever. But at that point, it becomes important. You realize you are supposed to be a member of a bigger body outside of your church. So when you can't be getting into heaven and seeing TB Joshua as a commander, we have a problem now. Because remember, he says, do you love me? Feed my flock. It's still his flock, which he has paid for by his own blood. And so why would I be entering into heaven given the righteousness of the Messiah, and I am seeing TB Joshua as a commander in heaven? Something is wrong. And there's a lot of this in a lot of churches where the doctrine of the church says that the person that you are dealing with is some type of an authority figure in the other. You'll remember this was said concerning Lehanan. It's the same thing. That if you disobey him, it is like you are asking for judgment, because even in the afterlife, he is going to be the one that judges you. That's strange, weird. And also, Paul Akomo, the guy who was a TB Joshua's thingy, who appeared on the BBC documentary, he also mentioned this thing, that you were told in scorn that if you die here and you disobey him, TB Joshua, when you go to the afterlife, you will find TB Joshua there. You will still have to answer to TB Joshua. That's what was believed there. When you were being punished, whatnot, that's the context. So now, when you're hearing what this man is saying, does it not line up with that? Then you know this church's doctrine, it's off. Then you know you are in a very bad place, where your pastor is a commander in heaven. In heaven. You think it. Like if you sat down and you thought it, you'll hear that I'm being peddled lies here. And at that point, I have to ask, what exactly does the Bible teach? In eternity, I will not be thinking about my pastor. Okay? Because now I'm in the presence of the Most High. Yes, I might remember those that contributed much effort towards my growth. But in the presence of the Messiah, I'm in front of He that created the heavens and the earth. Why would I be thinking about as a commander? Think it. So that you don't get deceived by strange doctrines that only pertain towards one church, because it can create problems. It's actually the show, daily Christian commentary videos. If it's the first time of hearing the show, check out some other videos that are down in the pinned comments, and be very careful what you start believing, which might not be in the Bible.